Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Donsky, founder of naturallysavvy.com, and I am your host for New Hope's Soapbox series here at Expo West. And today I'm with Trevor Smith, founder of Secret Squirrel.
Hello, hello.
Secret Squirrel.
Yes.
Very interesting name, Trevor. So, what's the story behind Secret Squirrel? And what is the product for everybody who's watching?
Okay, well, I'll start off with the product a little bit, and then I'll slide into the description of where the name came from.
I like it.
But I want to tell everyone that Secret Squirrel is the best tasting coffee you can get with half the caffeine, with half the acid and twice the caffeine.
Okay.
We're on a mission to put the very best coffee shop experience into a bottle. And we do that via our ingredients, our approach to clean label, our formulations, and our processing.
All right, so, and it's cold brew.
And it's cold brew coffee.
Cold brew coffee in a bottle, best tasting out there.
Yep.
So when you talk about acidity, let's talk about it for a second for those of us who aren't coffee connoisseurs. What does that mean exactly?
Sure. Acidity has a lot to do with the chemicals in coffee that actually inflame your digestive system.
Okay.
Right? So a lot of people are sensitive to coffee, to hot brewed coffee.
Okay.
Because when you hot brew coffee, you're extracting those things that will inflame your digestive system. When you cold brew coffee, it's a totally different process. By the way, should I describe cold brew coffee?
I was just going to ask you, I'm like, so I didn't realize. I actually thought it would be hot first and then you let it cool off. So
no.
Okay,
Exactly.
so what does that mean?
Well, cold brew is the innovation.
Okay.
I stumbled into cold brew about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Fell in love with it. And my wife and I would cold brew every 2 or 3 months from that point forward. And I still remember the first time we tasted cold brew coffee. We brewed it up, followed the directions. I bought a toddy contraption.
Okay.
It's the most popular way to cold brew coffee.
Okay.
And we took a sip and we were like, wow, that's smooth.
Interesting.
And from that point on, we brewed every 2 or 3 months. It's kind of a complicated, messy process, so we didn't do it a lot. But every time we did it, it was just incredible.
Yeah.
And that process is, you take freshly roasted coffee beans, grind them, and then soak them in water for like 18 to 20 hours.
Okay.
And then you filter it, and that's cold brew coffee. Now you might ask, why would you spend 20 hours brewing coffee when you can do the same thing, when you can brew coffee in about 15 minutes?
Right.
Again, we come back
But
to
hot.
But hot, exactly, the hot brew process. We come back to the process, the taste. Number one,
And
you
the
get a
lower
better taste,
acidity.
the lower acidity.
I think that's a very important point.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what you'll find is when you cold brew coffee, you're not extracting the oils to give you the bitter flavors and the inflammation, but the bitter flavor is the key. And when the bitter flavors aren't there, you'll find there's a natural sweetness to coffee.
So you don't have to add as much sweetener.
You don't have to add as much sweetener. So when you're at Starbucks or your favorite coffee shop and you have a hot brewed coffee, you spend a lot of time adding cream and sugar trying to find that equilibrium, the balance until you get it just right. With cold brew coffee, it's not there, it's naturally sweet. So people, as you mentioned, you can drink it straight.
That's amazing.
Yep.
You know, okay, so let's talk about Secret Squirrel. Why the name before I move on to my next question?
Okay, good point. Yes. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
Right? And Secret Squirrel typically means NSA, Delta Force, Black Ops, CIA, all these kind of secret guys, right?
Okay.
So as you can imagine, that's the federal government has all of that. That filters into the culture of us kids. So we use the term to mean inside scoop.
Okay.
Right? So we'd be, you go to your friend, you're like, yo, I got the Secret Squirrel. They're like, wow, what's up, right? And they'd be like, well,
I got the cold brew coffee.
Yeah, I got the cold brew coffee. That's eventually where it led to.
I love it.
But back then we were talking about things like a secret parking spot in the party district, or a cool restaurant that just opened, or a sample sale, and things like that. So 7 years ago when we launched the company, not a lot of people knew about cold brew coffee or the process. I was already a crazy coffee guy anyway, so we thought we wanted to have a quirky name, we wanted to have something that was fun, and we thought it fit perfectly because Secret Squirrel, cold brew was an inside scoop, cool way to brew coffee. So we called it Secret Squirrel.
I love it.
And it's really been working for us from day one.
We were going to try samples today, but we're at Expo, and you were saying, Trevor, that your products haven't arrived yet.
Yeah, it happens. Every show, something goes wrong. And our issues right now are that we don't have power for refrigeration. So they can't bring our products out of the back to put them out. So
well, hopefully you'll get them later today.
We have to get it later today, or we'll have some issues over the next 3 days.
So we're praying. We're putting out the intention that you are getting your product.
Absolutely, we're going to manifest it.
Exactly.
So what I did bring was a cool little tumbler that we have out that we give out to people, and a new recipe book. where we have about 30, 40 different recipes, ways you can
using your bottled coffee.
Using our concentrate.
Using your, so you have okay, so let's talk about the, even though we don't have them on the table, let's talk about the different products in your line. How many products do you have and what are they?
Sure thing. We break it out into basically 3 lines.
Okay.
We started with a concentrate product in the farmer's market, and it's what we call a 3 times concentrate.
Okay.
And that's directly from that initial process of mixing coffee and water and filtering. We take that directly and put it in a bottle as a concentrate.
And you put in like whatever it is, 3 times the amount of milk? Is that the
actually, so 3 times concentrate translates to 1 part coffee concentrate, 2 parts water,
so it's
milk,
a total
or
of 3.
non-dairy alternative.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, total of 3.
Total of 3.
Exactly. So that's our concentrate. It comes in a 16-ounce bottle and a 32-ounce bottle. It's non-GMO verified. It's
is it organic
certified.
Oh, it's organic.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, from day one. That was a very important for our business. We have a preference for organic ingredients.
And the whole line is organic?
No.
Okay.
Not all of it. And I'll tell you about the milk in a second.
Okay.
But so we have a concentrate, 16-ounce and a 32-ounce.
Okay.
Those are our core.
Yeah.
And then we have our black line, and that includes black coffee, which is also non-GMO and organic certified.
Okay.
And then we have a maple brown sugar.
My gosh, this sounds so good. I'm I want to try it. I'm going to come to your booth for sure and try it. This sounds so yummy.
By the way, that's booth 309.
Booth 309. Okay, no, that's great.
Yes.
Awesome.
And that's our black line. And then we have our most popular line is the dairy line.
Okay.
Right. And we have our latte, which is my personal favorite. That's we literally just use our cold brew concentrate and whole milk. It's not organic. And it's not organic because there has been a persistent shortage of organic milk for many years, right? So we didn't want to hitch our product onto an ingredient
that you could possibly not find.
That we could possibly not find. So what we did was we've sourced RBST-free milk for all of our products.
Beautiful.
Latte, just coffee and milk. Oh, and we love simple recipes, basic ingredients.
Clean ingredients.
Because everything tastes better when it's just the basic things. You don't have to add and mess with and play around with
especially because the coffee speaks for itself in this case, right?
Absolutely.
It's the cold brew coffee that's going to really give it that flavor.
Exactly.
So why add so many? If you're going to have to add a million different ingredients, then your coffee doesn't speak for itself.
Sure.
Which in this case
exactly.
it does. So.
Yeah. Why bother? Then it's like so we're back to the coffee shop experience, right? Because you have the coffee shop and they just add milk and coffee. And they don't add a bunch of other stuff like some weird phosphate and an additive and a preservative and
potassium
this
sorbate
and
sodium benzoate and all these things that are going to keep it.
Absolutely. So we like to keep it simple. Then we have our dark chocolate mocha, which has like 5 ingredients.
Yummy.
Again, it's just coffee, cocoa, sugar, milk. And then we have our most popular, we have a chicory coffee.
Nice.
That's a new one that we just put out recently. And our most popular by far is our Vietnamese coffee.
Nice. What's that?
That is coffee concentrate, milk, and sweetened condensed milk.
Nice.
It's my version of the classic Vietnamese coffee made in Vietnam, right? So they literally take this like really thick coffee, hot, and then they put in globs of sweetened condensed milk.
Okay.
And that's really strong coffee. It's really heavy. It's really sweet. And when I started making it in the farmer's market, I wanted to make something that was better for American tastes. Right. So I lightened everything up. Okay. It's been a hit in the farmer's market.
That's amazing.
All the way to now, it outsells everything.
So the coffee itself is organic. It's just maybe the milk. Okay. Do you have a non-dairy line as well?
We don't have a non-dairy, and we get this question a lot, and we're working. There's some innovations in the pipeline.
Okay, good. I'm non-dairy, so that's why I would ask.
Sure,
I'm like, man, this all sounds so yummy.
I can't get you the Vietnamese.
I know. I'm like,
so sorry.
That's okay.
But what we do tell people is that they can use our concentrates.
Right, and then make their own.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep. And a wonderful drink I like to make with our concentrate is to take there's this horchata rice milk. You can find it like a local Whole Foods.
Exactly.
And mix that like basically 1 part coffee concentrate and 3 parts of that rice milk. Mwah. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So where can we find your products? So for those who are watching and they're wondering, I want to get some secret squirrel, where can I find them? Across the country.
Across the country. So we are across the country. Yeah, and that's a
national
new thing.
distribution.
National distribution.
Nice.
Sure. We're stronger in the West. So you'll find us, and we started in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So you'll find us in Whole Foods stores in Los Angeles.
Right.
Target, Safeway, Erewhon, Mother's, Lassen's, all the big natural chains we've worked away.
And you are at Expo, so hopefully you get
more
distribution.
We're here to get bigger.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Now you talked about a recipe book. So this would be used with the concentrate. Is that it primarily, or you can use it even with the milk line, like the milk as well?
Oh, absolutely. We have various lines in here. We have alcohol. alcohol drinks you can make with coffee. We have vegan. We have some cake recipes, frosting recipes, tiramisu recipes.
All these different things.
Yeah, interesting thing about this little book is that when we first started the company, every couple years, well, for 2 years running, I did a Kickstarter campaign. Right, and the first year we did all-American cold brew coffee, and what we did is we sourced some beans from Hawaii because that's the only state in the country where coffee is grown. So it's the all-American cold brew. We made these special printed bottles. It was awesome, right?
Yep.
The next year we did a direct trade coffee bean, right, and we had all the prizes. You can get a really cool bottle, a T-shirt, this cup, and a recipe book. Right now, I'm an entrepreneur, right, and things get really hard, and there are a lot of ups and downs.
Yep.
And we delivered on everything, all the packages.
That's awesome.
Except for the recipe book.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
yes, so I have about 50 people out there that are going to be getting their recipe book finally. After about 2 or 3 years, we finally get the recipe book. They'll be shipped next week.
I think they forgive you.
I think they forgive me. Yeah,
especially could they get it online as well?
No, not yet. Not yet. Okay. We're going to give these away for free here at the show, and we're definitely going to make sure all my old Kickstarter fans get the book finally.
I love it that you're keeping your word.
I got to keep my word. I'll sleep better.
Well, 100%.
Absolutely. It's really seriously, it's been weighing on me. I'm like, oh, I never got that book out, and maybe only one person ever complained. Yeah. So they're really nice people out there, but we're gonna pay it off.
So now all you Kickstarter people are going to get your book. I like it. So Trevor, is there anything, before we wrap up that you would love people who are watching to know about your company, about Secret Squirrel?
Right. Well, I'd say, I mentioned that, we're on a mission to bottle the best coffee shop experience, right? The other thing we really want to do is inspire people to be the best versions of themselves, right? And we have a tagline called Power Your Passion. And that's all about, we want to find ways to to inspire people to pursue whatever their passions are. And a lot of different companies and groups have their social missions are to help maybe, and these are great missions, to help maybe like farmers in another country. Obviously, it's always great to help children, or everyone has a different thing. Yeah. And I feel like our social mission, I want it to be more like one-on-one, right? And we're still trying to find ways to articulate this mission, this social mission of ours. But right now we call it Power Your Passion. And literally, this came from how people were interacting with our coffees.
Because they were super passionate about it.
Absolutely, they were super passionate about the coffee. They showed us how they were using it. They showed that they were powered to do their art, dance, writing, drawing. Nurses were always like, "Oh, I made it through the night," because they have the passion for their children. They have the passion for.
Is there a decaf version? Actually,
there's no decaf version. We
can't
have
you're saying that, I'm like, wait, is there a decaf version? You can't have.
You think I could be like this on decaf? I mean,
no, but for those people who may not.
Yeah, no decaf.
No decaf. Okay.
And really, it's not because I don't want to. The problem is the process. Coffee, caffeine is water soluble.
Okay.
Water and the coffee is soaking together for a very long time. Even decaf coffee has a little bit of caffeine in it. So if you soak it for 18 hours, you filter it, you're going to end up with less caffeine, not decaf.
Got it.
And it's kind of a weird place to be, so we've avoided it.
Very nice. So what is your website so if people can learn more?
Oh, yes. We're at squirrelbrew.com. And you can find us on all the different social platforms under Squirrel Brew.
I love it. So nice to meet you, Trevor.
Pleasure. Thank
love
you
your
so much.
story and
Thank
congratulations and with all your success.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching, everyone.